Check, check. It's a video recap of RIVN from July 16th. Not scripted. There's a screen share, so if I stutter, guys, hang with me. All right, y'all, start with 1K here. Another video recap. I like to do them every once in a while, win or lose, or just really to get you guys thinking, teaching, why did I take that? What's the reasoning? And hopefully if you can see some reasoning behind my entries and exits, maybe you can build this into your trade plan. So I'm going to try and make this video 10 minutes or less. You guys know how I like to be detailed, so we'll see how that works out. But we're going to focus on QQQ, which is all the big tech names, and then I'll focus and shift over to Rivian and both the why that I took both of those trades. So quickly first, guys, I'm West Coast time, so 6:57 a.m. Said looking at Rivian puts on watch, can go risky or next week as well. Not in yet. Watching basically big tech here. So of course that first kind of warning alert, that focus when I get to the Rivian chart, look at that, guys. We'll be focusing on that 1735 zone, and then that 708.50, 57 up to that 710.5 zone where we push there. So again, 6:57 my time in the morning, I sent that out, and when I did, we were kind of trading down here. And I really, honestly, I was focusing on this 710.5 zone. I sent that out, and this is a 30-minute chart here, guys. We pushed up, and I'll show you guys again the Rivian chart in a second. But when we pushed up, we pushed into this level here that I kind of had marked. The 720s are kind of upper range here. The 715 zone is kind of our middle, and the 705 is kind of that lower range that we're kind of playing in here. So I noticed pre-market, I kind of made a plan here that I was really focusing on this 715 here. Do we make any progress over that today? And early in the session, the pre-market, we sold under. And again, these are the 30-minute candlestick charts here. Each 30-minute was making zero progress, kind of. So we bounced down into here. When the alert was set down here, the trade idea was down here. We fully engulfed that in that 30-minute here. But then I looked left and I said, hey, we're kind of stopping in this red zone here. So it's not really this middle range here, but this is kind of where we made progress and a full recovery the day before. But I'm seeing all this pre-market action and then this morning action. Every single 30-minute candle did not make any progress over that. And then, so I'm going to jump back and forth real quick. So when I sent out that idea, I was looking at Rivian. Again, I had it on another chart. I said, SPY pushed up into that next zone overhead. Rivian made zero progress on my point of interest there. So that kind of, kept my ears and eyes perked just a little bit more, watching this setup even more. I liked it even more when tech will push and get like a little bit of a bullish push, but this makes no progress. If you want to be bullish on a setup, that should raise some red flags like, hey, we didn't break over this zone at all on that 30-minute candle. So quickly going back to QQQ, and then I'll jump back to the why of Rivian. So again here, 30-minute, we can even jump down a 15-minute time frame, you guys. I encourage you guys to stay on that. The larger time frames tells you what's going on. They're telling you where at the time, buy your dips, short, short up here, like I tried to hint. But again, we're focused on this zone here. Even the 15 minutes is showing kick down, kick down, kick down every single time here. And I believe I sent that alert out right in here. I said, okay, it's 30 to 45 minutes in the day. We have not broken over this level. If we break over this level and Rivian follows over that 1735, I'll cut for a small loss, 20 to 25%. I can live with that. So we're resisting where we want to be resisting at, overhead resistance on QQQ big tech. Can Rivian go against it? Absolutely. But the 1735 here, guys. So why did I pick that level? If you know my trading style, if you guys, shout out to the 20 people that are always with me on Sundays for the Sunday market scan. All I look for is a break and retest, a breakout and a retest, or a breakdown retest. So again, 1735, big zone here. Let's just color it green so we can see it easily on this chart here. That's the focus for here. We zoom out, and if we ignore what's going on today, we can see when we hold, let me go back to starting back here, yes. So here's the first battle, 1735, when it came back to it. A breakout, a retest that holds, we get bullish over. When we sell under, or excuse me, we get back over that, we see big moves up. This is the real focus here from just a couple weeks ago on this Tuesday. I'm not sure the exact date here, but this sell down and this battle here, I said, when they don't hold 1735, support flips into resistance. Resistance is overhead, and we get the sell down. We move back up, we full engulf it. What do? We get a bullish move. And all we're doing, guys, we're just looking back in time, finding those big moves, finding those big areas where there's a big inflection point. Same thing here. Sold at pre-market, full engulfed it during the opening 1 hour session here. These are 1 hour candle charts. We sold back to it. The battle continues. When we're underneath it, what do? We get this sell down. Same thing. We break support. What do we get? We get the sell down. Back to present day, that focus right there. Okay. Same thing, you guys. How do I get my price targets? Well, I look for big wick, big candle body reactions, and cluster zones. Cluster zones are consolidation zones. So I said, I already had these plotted out, but just for you guys for reference, I always look left and I go, where are we starting to see the big buybacks? Where do we start seeing the big buybacks? Just 2 days ago. So 1711 into the 17 zone. Do we want to have that as a target? Absolutely. Down here at this 1665, probably something to watch there. When we open here pre-market, we had this huge move there. Previous day was resistance, flip support. We scroll back in time even more. Same thing. Look, I don't have to move the chart or my lines. What do we have here? Cluster zone where there's a battle. The first touch, they bounced it. They sold back or closed right at, excuse me, on again, the 1 hour chart. And when that failed, that triggered a sell. Down to next target, all the way down here. Again, we're seeing buybacks here. We're seeing wicks here. Again, you guys, the quickest way to do this is look for big, large wicks. They're telling you where sellers are really kicking it down hard. Or when you see wicks to the bottom side, big buys down here. That's all it is, you guys, is breakout retest, breakdown retest. Again, I will die on that hill. That is the easiest trading method. You will never see me chasing tops at resistance or chasing bottoms best I can at support. I'm never going to chase puts at support. So a smaller time frame reaction again. Again, that 1735. We've seen that QQQ push up. Again, I sent that trade idea at 657. So that's somewhere down at this candle here. We pushed up. And when Q's made that progress, that next resistance zone, this did not make any progress over here. Again, these are 15-minute candles, rejections, candle close, candle close, candle close. So that was my focus there. And I said, a little bit of option Greeks here, fill the light size. For me, that is a half position size. So 5% or less of my portfolio. I recommend you guys, if you're trading on your own, 5% or less always. So I sent this out at 713. I said you can go a risky 1 day till expiration. Again, we're trading at 1727 and some change. So we're 27 cents on the stock away from going in the money. If we were trading at 1780, I would probably take next week expiration 17 put. I would not take a short dated put being that far away from that strike. And so again, option Greeks, when you guys get better at this, it'll be more it'll come quicker to be more natural. So I can go riskier next week. Expirations, there wasn't a whole lot of volume on those spreads on the 17 put, so that's why I went the risky zone there. So a stop out for me is a break and hold over that red zone. We'll talk about that quickly again. And then the price target should be obvious. We just talked about that. So again, break over that red zone. What happens when they break this? We take the loss, we lick our wounds, and we look for a bullish breakout because the markets are probably going to move with that. So this is resistance. If they break over, we flip this as a support, we color this area green, and we treat this as support for a relief support bounce. So we entered somewhere around here, got a few pokes over, but again, I did not like these buybacks, but I was confident on that morning session sell down, the morning session volume was working for us. And again, we had this 15. When I seen this 15 here along with QQQ rejections, I felt pretty confident in the trade. I said, hey, please trim low a day here, guys. And so we did. This was the low a day. No reason to get greedy and look for stuff down here until we break low and we just stair step down. So 15-minute, we got that kill shot down. What did I say here? Target one paid us about 33%. So that's the beauty of if you can time it correctly, you buy a 1 days to expiration contract, pays very nice. Then down in that 17.0 zone, round psychological numbers. That was the biggest number on level two, time and sales. That's what I was seeing down there. All the activity down there, 17 flat. So we sold down here. And again, same thing, you guys. Breakdown, retest. They try and reclaim it. They did on the 15. Let you guys know, not let it go red. We looked weak on the markets, and then we got that kill shot right into 17 here that fully engulfed it, right down in that 16.9 and then 17.2. Mentioned it quickly in the chat. I did not hold for that, but those paid huge. I was happy with the move. They're short-dated contracts. But that's it, guys. That's all we're doing here is a breakout retest for calls. If something breaks out, retest entry. You don't chase the top here. You get the back test to see, do they hold that support? You get an entry. This was a breakdown retest. You get in somewhere in here. You have a reasonable stop overhead. At the time, VWAP was overhead, so that's why I picked that stop there. So basically entering at around 17.30, and we're letting it go about 15 cents on the stock against us. We're not going to enter here and hold for a daily 9 touch up here and get blown out. I'm not perfect on my trade, guys, but I always enter where I say, hey, if I break above here, I never want to have more than a 30% loss. So if you're following my trades, again, there can be a tweet that goes against us, but I'm never going to get us in a trade and having a stop loss that's 70, 80%. I just don't do that. So max of 30%, and hopefully we can get more than that on the downside, combine that with a good win rate. So hopefully that helps, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, it is very bare bones. It is very simple trading, but I think it's the easiest way to learn. So if you guys have any questions, send me a DM, send me a chart, say, hey, I kind of like your trading style. I'm looking at this name, whether it could be Tesla, Apple, it could be anything. It could be Ford, GM, it could be these names I trade, but just say, hey, is this an example of a breakout retest? Why or why not? And I'll help you guys. So again, the people that put in the most work, put in the effort, you guys are the ones that are going to help the most. So hopefully this helps, guys. With that, I'm going to end this video. Have a good rest of your evening.